How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel today. So today we are, now that I've just finished watching the original Naruto series literally in the last couple of days, I thought while it's still fresh in my mind, the best thing to do is to go through and, you know, rank what are our favorite moments in the show. So the best fights and the best characters. So that's what we're going to be doing. So these are going to be over 2 videos, I believe. One will be the fights and one will be the characters. And I just think it would just be a cool idea. Now, these lists I have made myself. They are over on, it's called tiermaker.com. I'm going to post the links in the description below. So if you guys actually can go and make your own ones. And what might be quite cool is if you do your own tiers, so I can see what you guys do, and then maybe just tweet me them or something, or just send me them or whatever. So that might be quite cool. Maybe we'll go on stream one day and then we can go through and rate all of your guys' tiers. But I'm really excited to do this. This show's meant so much to me. Obviously now we've started Naruto Shippuden, and it's going to be a whole new experience, and maybe we'll do the same thing when we get to Shippuden as well. Might be quite a cool thing to do. So I mean, that's the plan. So I'm really excited to do this. So yeah, let's get into it. Right, so we're going to be doing the characters. We've got about 50 characters here. Now obviously there are going to be some characters that are missing, of course, but that's fine. You know, you're not going to include every single character, but these are the ones that I could really just think of that really stood out. So that's what we're going to be doing. So first of all, we've got Kiba here. Now Kiba, I actually really do like him, especially towards the end when we saw him with the sound 4 at the end. But I'm going to probably put him as a C. The reason why I'm going to put him as a C is because I felt like he didn't really have much screen time, and I felt like Shikomaru probably outshined him a little bit. All right, so next up we got Rock Lee. Of course, I think we all know where he's going. He's going to go straight to S tier. The reason why he goes to S tier is just because he's so pure. And Drunken Lee, I mean, come on. Drunken Lee was like such a moment I never expected, you know, in such a hype situation. And also his battle that he, you know, to come back from his injuries and everything like that. I thought that was such an amazing kind of story and willpower, and the way he put it all aside and really fought for his friends was really important. Next we got Orochimaru. Orochimaru, for me, it's a difficult one because Orochimaru, I felt like I would have loved to have seen more of him, but I feel like the lack of seeing him all the time made when he was on screen super intense. So I'm going to put him as an A tier, just because I think, especially in the sub, I think like his voice was incredible. I felt like you really felt his desperation, you know, and even when he was down, he was never out. I really love Orochimaru. I mean, the thing is, I would like to maybe bump him to S tier, but I feel like there's so many characters that I love. Nah, do you know what? We're going to put him in S tier. We are going to put him in S tier. I think it's just because there is very few people that when you see them when they are on screen, they just command you like this, you know. So next we got Sonarde. I really like Sonarde. I'm not gonna lie, at first she annoyed me when we didn't have much information and she was being a bit of a brat to Naruto. Again, I really like Sonarde. I think she's an awesome character. She really grew on to me, and the way she kind of took on the Hokage role was really awesome. So I really respected her for that, and she's a bit of a waifu as well. So we're gonna put her in A, I think. All right, so next we've got Choji. Choji's a difficult one because Choji, for the longest time, I didn't care for until we saw the fight where he practically died. So for me, that was a really big moment. I'm going to put Choji in at a B. I feel like Choji has a lot of potential. Hopefully in the series coming, we can see more out of him. But for now, I'm going to put him in a B. Okay, so next we've got Best Girl. Even though she's absolutely best girl, and when you say best girl, they should go S tier. Sadly, she didn't have enough time. Now, I think that her fight against Neji goes under the radar in the exams. I think she was unbelievable. With that said, she didn't get enough screen time, but the way she was so loyal to Naruto, despite, you know, her conflict of interest with her being paired up with other people, I'm going to put her in A. And I really hope we see more of her in Shippuden, actually. Next, not enough screen time, quite frankly, so I'm going to go D here. The longest tug of war match you have ever seen in your life. I really love that, and what he meant to everyone. And what I realized as well is when I saw him after he had died in flashbacks, I realized like how much he kind of meant to us all. So I'm going to put him as a B. Now, Bug Boy is an interesting one because he is so OP and has potential to be OP as hell. But again, not enough screen time. I'd love to have known more about him. So for now, I'm going to put him at a C. I love the fact that Naruto is right next to him here. Again, didn't have enough screen time, but was really, really important to Naruto's development early on. B. I think B is fair, especially for the OG series. I feel like he has a bigger part to play in the series, but I just feel like he didn't get enough time, but he was pivotal to Naruto, of course. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to save Naruto towards the end, I think. Kankuro. Interesting guy. I didn't like him at first, especially when we first met him. I thought this guy's going to be a bully. But then once we got to see more of him, especially at the end in the Sasuke rescue arc, retrieval arc, I thought he was really awesome. And that coffin he did with the puppet and the thing like that, that was really awesome. For now, I'm gonna put Kankuro at a B as well. I think he's really cool, and I also like with a lot of these characters, I hope we're gonna get to see more of them in the future, you know. Like I feel like some of them have such big potentials as well, but I think Kankuro, I mean, I'm tempted to actually, I'm going to drop him to C actually, only because he didn't get that much screen time, and to put him next to people like Sarutobi, I find that hard. Next, we've got Jeriah, the big man, the pervy sage himself. Now this one, I feel like deserves S tier. I think he goes S tier. I can't think of anything else where he might not deserve that. I feel like he's so pivotal to Naruto that he's been like an uncle, and he's added something to the show that I really, really love. So I'm just going to go S tier. I think that's plain as day. Kabuto, I love. Kabuto reminds me of like a Yu-Gi-Oh villain. I don't know why. I love the glasses, and the fight with Sonarde and Naruto was unbelievable. And the kind of trickery of his character, especially early in the Chunin exams, I thought was awesome. I don't know whether, the thing is I haven't spoken to too many people in the community about a lot of characters, because we've never really had that conversation, because I've only just finished the series. So I don't really know what the community's thoughts on some of these characters are. So I don't know whether it's controversial, but I'm actually going to put Kabuto as an A. I think he's such a great villain, and I feel like he's like a proxy villain for Orochimaru that can be just as menacing, especially that moment when Naruto found out, you know, when he finally saw Kabuto for what he was and he didn't understand it. That moment was, you know. Okay, now we've got the Chad himself. Again, hasn't had a lot of screen time, but if it wasn't for him, you know, Shikomaru would be absolutely gutted. I feel like we owe him a lot as a community, because we love Shikomaru because he saved him, of course. But I haven't seen a lot of him this season, in this series. So at the moment, I'm going to put him as a C tier. I'm hoping that we see more of him in Shippuden. Let me know what you guys think. The difficulty is a lot of you guys have seen Shippuden. You guys may be tainted emotionally, whereas I'm just seeing this from, I haven't seen anything else, so maybe that's that. Now, Haki for me, I feel like the bridge episodes, you know, with Zabuza and Haku, I always feel like I'm saying his name wrong. This was the moment where I fell in love with Naruto, because up to this point, it had been quite cool and kind of neat. This was where it became emotional and the characters meant something. And I really liked Haku's character. And also I got baited big time. So I'm going to put Haku up as a B. Then we got the big man himself. I don't know why. He kind of gives me Ichigo vibes because of I don't know whether it's the hair or whatnot. But for me, this was the first terrifying villain that we had. The backstory, everything that he did for Haku, I thought he was amazing. So I'm going to stick him up at A. And I actually look back at that arc with such fondness, and the what he had back and forth with Kikashi was amazing as well. Kimimura was an interesting one. Kimimura felt like he was going to be the prodigal, like he was going to be something nuts. Obviously he wasn't able to fulfill what he wanted to fulfill, and because of that we never got to see full power version of him. Like we never got to see what he could have been. So I feel like he's like a fallen angel, you know, in that kind of aspect. So I'm gonna put him in B. I think that's fair. Okay, now we got the big man. I love him. I always want more on screen of him, and that moment of, you know, when he said to Lee that, you know, he would die for him, that was just incredible, quite frankly. I'm gonna put him up in A. I don't feel like, I would love to put him up in S, but I feel like we still need more out of him, you know. She is probably the most underrated person in the original series, I think. The way she teams up with Shikomaru, and also the fight against Shikomaru was probably, I don't know, we're gonna go on and do those lists, but it was one of the best fights in the show. I'm gonna put her in B, I think. And also, I hope we see more of her as well. Okay, this dude, is it what's his name? Is it Kisame? I can't remember what his name is. I've forgotten. We've briefly seen him. I haven't seen too much of him yet, but I know, especially with him being Akatsuki, I feel like we're obviously going to see more of him. Very cool design. I like the link to the hidden mist as well. I feel like there's a little bit more that we could learn that. But I'm going to put him in B just because we haven't seen too much of him, but he looks awesome. Sakura-chan. This is going to be an interesting one because a lot of people, from what I've seen in the community, absolutely hate Sakura or they feel for Sakura. Now, I don't know whether that's because they're tainted by what they've seen in Shippuden. From what I can only see through the OG Naruto series, I think she's a cool character and she hasn't been whiny or anything like that. You know, I've actually felt for her in a lot of situations. She's a good countermeasure to the two boys. So in classic Naruto, I'm going to give her a B. It might be controversial. Let me know what you guys think, but I think she goes in B. I think she's an important character of the series, you know, and she's had some cool moments, you know. Shizune, we've not seen too much. I really like Shizune from what we have seen, especially the way that she stood up to Orochimaru and Kabuto. It was really awesome, and the way she's so devoted to Sonarde is awesome. She really just wants the best out of people. So I'm gonna go B there again as well for her. Actually, I am gonna take back this. I'm gonna put her in C, only because we have really not seen enough. Konohamaru, I really like Konohamaru. Cool kid. I've got hopes for him. I've got a feeling we'll probably see more of him. We saw him in episode 1 of Shippuden. I feel like they're kind of setting him up to be kind of like a Naruto side dude or something like that. I don't know, but we haven't really seen too much of him. I'm gonna put him in at C, but you know, just the funeral for me was just heartbreaking, man. I know that everybody loves her. I'm aware of this. I've literally not seen enough of her. I think the best moment was when she thought that she could step to Itachi. That was hilarious. But yeah, I'm going to put her in at a C at the moment just because we've not seen enough of her. I'm hoping in Shippuden they're going to flesh her out a little bit more. The best boy. Now, there isn't a tier above S, sadly. No, all jokes aside, I'm going to put, I want to put down a C. I think we put, because we only really see him with Kiba, and I feel like we haven't really seen much of either. Also, the fact is it because he's is he a little pup that's what gets me? So maybe that's it, but I'm just gonna put down at C. Then we got Gamma Bunter as well. I thought Gamma Bunter was cool whenever we've seen him. I also feel like the banter with Naruto, but then the respect later on when he came in and the way that he fought. Is it Shikaku? The Shikaku? I thought that was badass. However, we've not seen too much. So I'm gonna put down as a C. Hayate, seeing him get murdered just because of what he overheard was so sad, and was also a pivotal moment in the show changing. And you gotta remember, at that point everything was coming to light, you know, stuff was coming into the open. So I felt like that this was a big pivotal moment, but I'm gonna put C. Right, so now we've got Sonarde's slug thing, I forget the name. It was cool for what we saw it, and surprisingly powerful considering the foes that she had, but we only seen it once. It's gonna go down in D tier. Orochimaru's snake thing is badass, but that's about it. I mean, when we saw it going ham on the village, was that the same one that went ham on the village but that had different heads? I'm not sure if it was, but again, we'll just go D tier. This is the guy in the first stage of the exam. I forget his name, but I thought he was badass, and I thought like maybe we could have had more of him at some point in the show, but we didn't really see much of him ever again. I can't remember if we did see more of him, but I thought he was really badass, and I love the spin that he put on the exam, but again, we didn't see enough of him, so I'm gonna put down D. Okay, this little fella, is it Pukan, or I can't remember what his name was now. It was something like that, Pukan or something like that. First, I thought was just going to be comic relief, but turned out pretty cool and was responsible for Kikashi getting to Naruto at the end of the series as well. But again, it wasn't really in the show too much, so I'm gonna stick him in C tier. Okay, we got Sasuke's dad here. I feel like Sasuke's dad, there was more to him. I felt like he was harsh and whatnot with Sasuke, but it wasn't just to be an arsehole. It was to raise Sasuke, and he knew what he was doing all along, and he was pivotal to that, but we didn't see much of him. So I'm going to put him in C as well. So this guy, was it Gammon or something like that? Or I can't remember what his name was, but he was the guy on the bridge at the end with the Zabuza kind of arc thing. It was just throwaway, I thought. But it gave us a good moment, but it was Zabuza that gave us the good moment. So he can go in D. This is Neji's uncle, right? This isn't the dad, I believe. I think this was Neji's uncle. I thought the way he revealed everything to Neji after the fight was cool. We didn't see much of him, although we saw him fighting for the village at the end, which was pretty cool. But I'm gonna put him in D just because there's nothing really to it. Okay, now we've got some sound people here. So this one is Jirobu. This was the guy that was feeding off the chakra when he domed them. Cool, but kind of felt like villain of the week. This was the only part when I was genuinely a little bit worried because people were saying, oh my god, this arc is the best arc. You can absolutely love it. And then it started going a little bit villain of the week-esque, and I was like, oh no, don't part 3 JoJo's me. But the fights were cool, but I feel like his fight was probably the least cool. But then his fight with Choji was pretty cool. I'm gonna put him down in D. Kimimura was probably my favorite fight out of all of the fights with Neji. But again, felt a bit fodder to me. So I'm gonna put him in D as well. This dude, I've forgotten his name, but he was pretty cool in the Chunin exams. He got absolutely slapped up by Gara at the end when Gara went into the Shikaku thing. Dosu is the name, right? But we're gonna put him in D. Anko, that's her name, right? Anko. She was cool. I'm actually feeling to put her in C. Again, we didn't see enough of her, but I thought she was a cool character, and the link that she had with Orochimaru was really kind of unique, and I really respected the way that the series told that story. I've forgotten his name. It's like Sunken, or I can't remember what his name is. The fight that he had with Kiba was really, really awesome. Although it took a little bit long, I thought. It's probably gonna go D here. The Shukaku, or I can't remember what the name of this thing was. This was Gara's, obviously, other form. This is when Naruto went slightly mecha for a moment. Of course, I'm kidding. But it was a cool fight, but it can go D. Taia is kind of the same as the others. I thought her abilities against Shikomaru made a good fight. You know, like they say styles make fights, and I felt like hers was the coolest one. Again, just D. Okay, so we're coming into that final stretch now. So this is, do you know what? I might put Taia slightly higher up. Okay, so now we've got Ino, and I don't know what the community's vibe is. I know that everyone hates the fight between Ino and Sakura. I actually kind of like the fight between Sakura and Ino, but I'm going to put her at a C. So now we're coming into the final characters here, where I think this is where people are going to really get opinionated, and this is where we separate the fans here. Shikomaru is an unbelievable character, and my level of respect for him went so high up, especially in the Sasuke retrieval missions. He gets an A here. I feel like there's a lot to come with him, and I feel in time when he gets more missions leading, I feel like he could get more, but for me, he goes into A with promise to go S. If you don't make S and you fall into A, that's no slight on you. It just shows you the level of just the company that these characters are in. Then we've got Gara. Now, Gara, for me, the development in Gara has been absolutely stellar. Seeing his tragedy, his backstory is really, really sad. I'm going to put Gara as an A as well. I felt like what he did with Rock Lee at the end against Kimimura was huge. He literally risked his life for someone that he tried to, you know, he was going to kill our boy beforehand. So that's a big one. I really, really like Neji. I feel like his backstory definitely kind of did the same as the others. I would have liked to have seen more of him as well. And I would like to see more of his past as well. And he had some awesome fights, especially the Kidomaru one was really, really awesome. But I am going to stick him in B, but I hope we see more of him as well. Okay, now this is the last 4 here is where I feel like most people are going to be most passionate about these characters. And it depends how you look at it. Now, with Itachi, it's a difficult one. I've not seen much of him. I don't know what happens in Shippuden. I know the fan base love Itachi. For me, as someone who's only seen the original Naruto series, I can't see why anyone would want to like him considering the evil shit he's done. But maybe you guys know more. For me, all I know is that when he is on screen, he is unfucking believable, and he commands a presence like no one else. Judged on the way he makes me feel on screen, I'm going to put him at an S tier. I feel like he has the ultimate potential in this show. Next up, we've got his little brother, Sasuke. And Sasuke, from what I've seen, especially in OG Naruto, depending on whether you watch the show as just a shonen fan or you look into the deeper meaning of why he's fighting, some people think he's just being an asshole. And if you like me, I appreciate where he's coming from. I really like Sasuke as a character, and he's so different from everyone else, and also the trauma that he's been through. I'm gonna put him at an A. I feel like there's still so much to come from him, but yeah, he's gonna be something cool in the future, I think, as well. And especially where we saw was episode 1 on Shippuden, which we've literally just filmed and put up on Patreon today. Something good there. Next, we've got Kikashi. Now, if you guys know anything about me, is that Kikashi is something special. I simp for Kikashi. Kikashi is actually going to get his own tier here, I think. So Kikashi goes up here. I feel like he's given us so many moments, and yeah, I absolutely love Kikashi. And finally, we've got Naruto. I have had mixed feelings on Naruto. At first, I thought he was going to be the tropey shonen guy. Then you would see moments where he's funny, where he's just being annoying, and then there's the moments where he really puts his life on the line. I'm going to put Naruto at a B as well. The reason why I'm going to put Naruto as at a B is I feel like there's so much room for growth with him, and he's not even fully fulfilled his potential. And I think if you're going to put Sasuke at not B, A, I think you also have to put Naruto there as well. I really still feel like we've got a lot more to address with him, you know. I'd like to see more of his family's history as well and stuff like that. But that's everything for this one. But let me know what you guys think. There is our list right there. I think it's a decent solid list. I'd love to know what you guys think. As I said before, if you guys want to do your own list, the link to this custom list, the exact same one that I've made here, you guys can go ahead over on the description down below. You'll be able to see the links for that. Let me know what you guys think. This was the best characters, and in the next video we're going to be doing the fights. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think.